We human beings are essentially androgynous. Of course, our scriptures tell us so, and so do our souls. Yet, isn't it a little ironic that it took a whole pandemic for us to finally let open and let in that feminine side of our culture, of our character, of our human dignity? I feel that the entire year 2020 that we would remember for the rest of our lives, it was in one way nature trying to teach us a lesson, to listen to our body, to follow the order of nature, to feel before we think, to pause than to race, to choose compassion, collaboration over competition. And just like that, behind the locked doors of our concrete homes, I feel that we were coming home to our own truth. The shift that isn't trivial. It is actually a shift in human consciousness, no less. It is a shift of paradigm. And I feel that the time has finally come to shift that paradigm in favor of the feminine. But what is feminine, you ask? We associate the clinical and the analytic with the masculine, and the empathy and the abstract with the feminine. Thinking, inventing, winning the world, the success measures, the bread, it belongs to the man. Feeling, caring, putting hot food on the table, it belonged to the woman. The typical hunter-gatherer phenomenon that traveled through us through history. But wait, even history is political. But behind our gender identities, we, the real human beings, the 360-degree human beings, the holistic human beings, we are essentially fluid. We are both of it. We have in each one of us both the hard and the soft, the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the anima and the animus, as Carl Jung called it. And for all we know, masculine and feminine are not really copyrighted by the man and the woman. In fact, it is the man box and the woman box that has done us a great deal of harm. Much like patriarchy and much like being in a toxic culture where they tell you what to do, what is expected of you, what exactly you will be shaped into. Isn't that a rather restricting form of being? Our stereotypes restrict us in our lives to observe, to attain, to realize, to be our full potential, as much as it separates the man and the woman. Masculine and feminine is not so much about what one is, but what one does. How does somebody feel? You see, femininity, the very idea of being feminine, is so much in the being, not so much in the doing. Femininity is not doing things for an outcome, for a success measure. Femininity is a way of life and the experience of it. It is the art of experience. And as opposed to that, masculinity as a culture, as a phenomena, is more about measurement. If femininity is immersive, masculine is calculative. If feminine is explorative, then masculine is in the hustle. If femininity is in the flow, then masculine is in the chase. And it is not to say we must stop something to do something else. It is at the end of the day a balance of both these sides. And yet, strangely, our home has been modeled over the feminine, and the external world, the economic empowerment, the entire philosophy and the principle of how money works, how empowerment works, how success works, has been modeled so much on the masculine. We have stereotyped our roles, we have stereotyped our energy exchange, and we have boxed ourselves up into an utterly unkind airtightness. The thing about economic empowerment, which forms a basis of any kind of human freedom for that matter, we have based it on activities that are measurable, that are tangible. Of course, there is service, but as long as it is about caregiving at home, we made it an uneconomic activity. As long as it is about putting a crying baby to sleep, we have made it uneconomic. As long as it is about caring, the emotional energy, the emotional investment, building relationships at home, in the society, in the community, we have made it uneconomic. We spend so much money on manufacturing the plastic toys, which harms our environment, which harms our ecology, but we understand that it costs money, it pays money, there is a system around it. But when it comes to a feminine activity, be it the mother or the father or whoever does it, to put a crying baby to sleep, we don't consider that an economic activity. It is almost like economy is bad. It is almost like love is an alternate form of currency, which it is not. I feel that this Women's Day, the time has come to revisit these few concepts, to accept ourselves on the spectrum of the femininity and the masculinity, and to appreciate the fact that not everything is as straightforward, or the rules have been originally made on certain terms that are no longer working for us. It is perhaps time to revisit some 101 courses and to see what pays, what matters, what we feel, how we feel, what we earn, what stays, and to be more equitable in that distribution, in that phenomenon, in that principle, on the rules with which we rule the world. This Women's Day, I feel, it is a conscious paradigm shift towards care, towards feeling, towards experience, towards the feminine, to find a new balance with the new normal.